Yo, welcome back to another episode of Add In Giants here at Pissed Off Sports. What is popping, y'all? What is going on? 30-12 is the end of the score. 49ers do take the win. Um, we do take the L on the road. We going back to New York, New Jersey, East Rutherford against the Seahawks week 4 on Monday night. But the score, it's over, and we got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. Honestly, I want to talk about the defense first. Let's talk about the defense. And before we talk about the negatives, of course, I'm going to start with the positives, but there was a lot of negative. It was a 30-12 game. But Niners are a really good team. Shout out to them. They did a really good job executing their schemes, executing their plan. Debo Samuel's a monster. They really got dogs on their team. They got Debo, they got Kittle, they got McCaffrey. All of them are really good players. Trent Williams, even though he should have got ejected. We're gonna get into that later. But let's talk about the positives before we get into the negatives about the defense. The defense actually looked really good, in my opinion, before third down. Actually, we were stopping Brock Purdy. We were pressuring him, which was awesome to see. We finally got some sacks, which was awesome to see. But every time when it came to third down, y'all, when it came to third down, we could not convert, and they converted it every single time. 30-13, 30-12, 30-10, you name it, they converted it. It was crazy. And it sucks to see, because usually when it's third and long, it's way more uncomfortable, and there's way more less to do. When you're third and long, bro, you gotta convert the sticks. The defense knows you gotta pass the sticks. So like the fact that they kept doing it, and they were doing it off screens. They did two screens on third and long and converted both of them. I think it was like 30-13 and 30-11. So that was not okay to see. But the positive, like I said, the defense, the secondaries did look all right in the beginning. Deontay Banks did get hurt, unfortunately. He did have an arm injury. And honestly, he did all right. He did get scored a touchdown. He did get scored a touchdown on by the rookie. I forgot his name, but he scored a touchdown on Banks. But other than that, he did pretty good. It's a rookie. There's always going to be learning curves for a rookie, man. You already know that. So, it's all good. It's all good. I think the secondary, they held it down, especially with all those players out. Dory Jackson did get hurt, but he did come back on the field. Trey Hawkins did. I was, like I said, these are rookies in the backfield. So I'm not expecting a lot, but I'm also expecting more than what they did in the certain reps. So you know what? It's all good. The defense did all right. Kayvon Thibodeaux finally got his first sack. He actually did pretty good this game. I actually like seeing Kayvon. He brought some pressures in. He got his sack. He did his thing. So it was great to see that. Dexy created a lot of pressures. Leonard Williams did get his first sack of the season as well. We did create a lot of pressures. I'm not gonna lie. We did make Brock Purdy look uncomfortable out there. I'm not gonna lie. For a certain amount of time, he did look uncomfortable for certain situations. Now, obviously, he did make some good plays out there. Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. He did make some plays, but there was a lot of penalties that are arguable, that should have been penalties, and I'm not going to discuss that here today. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm not going to argue about refs and calls and all this bullshit, even though there was a lot of questionable flags tonight in tonight's game against us. So the defense, I was expecting to be I don't know, a little bit less than what they pulled off tonight. So I'm actually super happy to see that. It's very encouraging, and if you guys watched the last episode of the Pissed Off Sports, man, I did have the Niners beating us. Unfortunately, they're just a really good team, arguably the best team in the NFC, arguably the best team in the NFL. And honestly, to keep up with them for that long with no Andrew Thomas and no Saquon, it was encouraging to see, honestly, even though we were losing. So we're gonna go back to Monday. We're gonna go back Monday Night Football. Go back to East Rutherford, New Jersey, back at home, back in MetLife, and hopefully we clean up the offense, because defense did give up a lot of stuff, but offensively, man, we couldn't move the sticks. I mean, not consistently, at least. Under the pocket, DJ, without pressure, he was getting the ball out. He was making plays, but at the same time, man, he had two, and a lot of people are gonna blame Darren Waller for this, but honestly, I'm gonna low key blame Danny for this, and I love Daniel Jones. My name's Eddie Dimes, and you literally see it. Eddie Dimes. I'm a Daniel Jones enthusiast. I love Daniel Jones. He is my guy. I think he is a quarterback. I'm not a Danny Dimes hater. I love Danny Dimes. But with that being said, Danny Dimes, that 3rd and long and that high throw you threw to Darren Waller, it should have been a better ball placement. I mean, it went through Waller's hands, yes, but it could have been a way better ball placement. I feel like it should have been a better ball placement, especially since, I mean, Waller, he is a freak athlete. He is supposed to make plays like that. But with that being said, I know you could have done a better pass than that, Danny, for sure. 1,000%. I seen the tape, Danny. I know what you can do. I know what you can do. And I know you could make a better throw than that, man. Had another interception. He has 4 interceptions. 3 out of the 4 went through defenders' hands, and that's so unfortunate to see. Danny Dimes, I feel like he could have done better. And I also will say another thing about the offense. Jalen Hyatt had 0 targets, 0 receptions, man. That is a big no-no. I know there was a lot of less time for under the pressure to throw the ball, but dude, come on. You got to get Hyatt involved. He is a huge key to this offense. He is the spark to this offense, y'all. He is. When we came back on the Cardinals, the very first play in the second half was a 58-yard bomb to Hyatt. We need to get him, at least give him a target. We need to get Hyatt involved. We need to, y'all. He is a big, deep threat, and he can create defensive schemes to open up other opportunities for others. So if we get him involved, bro, everyone will get involved. We need to. So I feel like if we had at least like one target or one bomb to him, the offense could have had more opportunities to score. But obviously that didn't happen. He didn't get no receptions, no targets, no catches. So no touchdowns or anything. So we need to. I know Saquon wasn't there. We had huge players that did not play on the offense, and I get that. I do. And shout out to the offensive line. Evan Neal. I want to talk about Evan Neal. I will say, he did lose a lot of reps, but he held his own. He bounced back from last week and the weekend down. He did bounce back, and that's awesome to see. I love seeing that from Evan Neal. He did get hurt. I did see his, the trainers were taping up his ankle, so hopefully he is okay. Hopefully he will be ready for Monday night. But Evan Neal, shout out to you, man. You held it. You held it down on your own. And shout out to Zudu too. Shane Lemieux, you're a bum. And Marcus McKeithen. I mean, these are all backups, man. It is. There was a whole backup offensive on the left side with the left guard and with Lemieux and Ezeudu. And Ezeudu did his thing too. He did have a couple flags on him, I believe. But, Ezeudu, shout out to them. They held their own. They could have done a lot better, but they're backups. They're not starting. They're not starting players in the NFL. Mark Lewinsky, he got benched by literally Shane Lemieux and Marcus McKeithen. Ben Brereton was out with a concussion. Andrew Thomas was out with the hamstring. So the offensive line was really thin this game. But shout out to them. I actually think they did a pretty decent job. This is literally right after the game, so I am going to watch more film on how they did and see where we're at with them right now. But from right now, from what I've seen so far, I think they did a really good job. For what their standards were for, there wasn't a lot of high standards for that offensive line at all. And I think they did a pretty decent job tonight. Now let's go back to. I'm gonna stay on offense for a little bit, but we're actually gonna switch back to defense. Let's talk about Minkah McFadden. We're gonna stay on the positive. We still a lot of things we gotta clean up. But Minkah McFadden had himself a game, man. I don't care. We lost 30-12, but Minkah McFadden, I'll tell you, that's a huge positive, man. He was all over the field. I will say he did have a couple missed tackles. He needs to work on his tackling, but man, he had a pass break on Christian McCaffrey. He freaking body Trent Williams, and they called a hold on Trent Williams during that play. He had a great tackles. He was pressuring the quarterback. He was all over the field. It was awesome to finally see Minkah McFadden and also another linebacker in the Giants to really thrive and look good. It was awesome to see that. So he thrived. He looked really good. That's also a really good positive, I will say. And switching back to the offense, I just wanted to get that out of the way for the defense, but switching back to the offense too. Darren Waller, I mean, this is up for debate, y'all. It really is up for debate. But Darren Waller did have like 2 drops. One of them, I 100% blame Danny, but another one, I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. We did have a couple targets. We did. Let's see. We got comments. Danny fumbled. Yeah, he did. He did, man. But it's all good. Like I said, there wasn't like it sucks that we took an L, but I already knew we were gonna lose to the Niners, man. Especially with the offensive line, no Saquon. Like I already knew it was gonna happen. So you know what? It's all good, y'all. You know we gonna move on to Monday night. But let me go back and talk about. Let's see. I talked about Andrew Thomas. Danny could have made better throws for sure. I already talked about Kayvon. Kayvon did have a sack that game, which was awesome to see. He did have more pressures. He finally looked like Kayvon, which was awesome, bro. But 30-12 was the end of the score. Evan Neal, like I said, he did his thing. Kayvon did his thing. Xavier McKinney, I think he needs to put in more effort with tackling. I mean, he was guarding George Kittle a lot, but George Kittle was honestly bodying. I mean, George Kittle, he's a big athlete, he's a big person, but like McKinney, you gotta put. I feel like you should put in more effort with the tackling, for sure, man, because he was doing his thing. Like I said, Deontay Banks did get hurt. The missed opportunities for Hyatt. We need to get him involved. Like I said, Darren Waller, I feel like he did get a good handful of targets, but I feel like he needs more, man. We need to get him more involved with or without Saquon. He is our best receiving player. He is our best receiving player, not a running back. He is our best player that's not a running back on the team. We need to get him more involved. The chemistry was a little off tonight between Darren Waller and Danny, and it sucked to see there was two crucial drops. One of them, like I said, Danny could have had a better ball placement. It did go through. Excuse me. It did go through Darren Waller's hands, but Danny could have had a way better throw than that. And honestly, there was also a play. It was I think one of the last plays before halftime, and this man, Darren Waller, I don't know who this man. I gotta watch back the film. Like I said, this is right after the game. I'm recording Ed and Giants episode 2 because we hear. You know, I'm gonna be recording episodes more than likely almost right after the jump, right after the game is over. So I'm quick with it. We are quick here at Pissed Off Sports, especially with my Giants. I don't play no games. I want to talk right after about the game. So Darren Waller, like I said, going back to that one of the last plays on halftime before halftime, it was a slant. And I'm actually blaming this on Waller. Waller, I feel like he is a 6'5" freak athlete. We know what Darren Waller is. You can say the ball was a little passed, overthrown, or whatever. It was a slant. Darren Waller, I feel like he could have caught that. And if he would have caught that play, it would have been a big play. And that could have got us maybe a touchdown and made this whole a way closer game than it was. But we did get 3 points out of that drive, which was awesome to see. Shout out Graham Gano, man. Eisen is, man. It was awesome seeing him doing his thing. But yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps it. Those are my week 3 recap thoughts. Right after the Giants 49ers game, it was 30-12. Some people were expecting an annihilation. Honestly, it was a close game this whole for the first fourth quarter. They scored in the fourth quarter. So it was 20-12, I believe, or no, 23-12 in the fourth quarter. So it was a 2-possession game. Then obviously they scored the touchdown, and Debo ends it there. But I think the defense looked good. About the positive, also the negatives are also, like I said, oh man, let's see. Yeah, pretty much wrapped everything. But that pretty much wraps it, y'all. That was week 3 for the Giants. Ed and Giants episode 2. The game just ended. Like I said, 30-12. 49ers did pull away with the dub. We are going back to East Rutherford, New Jersey on Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. Hopefully, we will get Saquon. Hopefully, we'll get Andrew Thomas back. Hopefully, we'll get Azeez Ojulari back because we need him. Oh my gosh, he needs to stay healthy. Hopefully, we get a lot of people back. We need to stay healthy, man. I know it's part of the NFL, but we gotta stay healthy, man, especially with this unit, man. So, but I think it was clear that Giants were we're a good team. I still feel like, but we're definitely not at the top of the NFC yet. We're not a Super Bowl team yet. Obviously, we're not even close to that yet. But we gotta plug in a few more pieces. We'll keep it going. It's always Big Blue. Let's go, G-Man around here. I don't give a fuck that we just lost. I'm already ready for next week. I already got it off my mind, so I'm glad I spoke this with y'all. We're 15 minutes, and I think that pretty much wraps it. So, like I said, the game was 30-12. I wrapped up my thoughts and what we have to do to make things better. Like I said, it was a thin O-line. A lot of star players did not play. Darren Waller, Danny needs to get the chemistry going. I mean, they looked really good against Arizona last week, of course. And also a big thing, Jalen Hyatt, please. Mike Kafka, Brian Dable, y'all need to get him involved to make this offense a huge key to being successful. Y'all need to, because he creates other opportunities too, and it showed last week. Bro, Darius Slayton ate, Hodgins ate. A lot of times those they ate was because Hyatt was on the field distracting a lot of players, bro. So please, please, please get Hyatt more involved. I think that's like the crucial thing. I will end here. I would say just get Hyatt involved. He is a big key. He is the playmaker. He is the one to create opportunities for others, because they don't have to have two safeties because he got the burners. We all know that. So we got to see that. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up everything, y'all. That was episode 2 of Ed and Giants Week 3 recap. We're going to move on to Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. Like I said, I hope everyone's back, but I hope y'all all have I hope y'all all have a great night, safe night. Giants did lose, but it's always Big Blue around here, baby. I don't give a fuck, man. We on to Monday Night Football. Let's get this dub. Big Blue all the way. This was episode number 2 of Ed and Giants. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. If you do enjoy this content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Show it to everyone. Show it to your mama, your papa, all your loved ones. You already know. But with that being said, though, y'all, that was episode 2 of Ed and Giants. Y'all have a great rest of your night. And with that being said, peace.